What's going on, everybody? Back again, another WrestlePurists Podcast, reviewing AEW Dynamite, our usual Thursday slot, our usual Thursday faces, besides Manny the Hooper. He will be joining us, he's just running late. I don't know what he gets up to. I'm sure he'll have a cool story for us when he gets back. We'll see what happens, But yeah, we're gonna get into a good Dynamite episode, and we're gonna talk, the latest things that have been going on in professional wrestling lately, as we always do. First things first, please like, subscribe, super chat, always appreciated. And while I've got two co-hosts here, I'm gonna see how they're doing. Charlie, I'll start with you. How are you doing on this fine Thursday?
Doing good. Not really much to happen today. Just had a chilled one. Packing, ready for my trip this weekend. Excited to talk about Dynamite. It's gonna be a good time.
Happy days. Hulbert, how are you doing?
Sometimes when you cover this great sport of titans, sometimes you lose your way a little bit. You watch 25 matches over a weekend, you review 21 of them, and you just say, I don't know how much longer I got left. I've been taking these bumps and these hard rings for a long time, and I've been running these roads for so long, and it's difficult. And then you see something like what we saw last night. You see the Gates of Agony live in living color on national television do what they did. Suddenly you're transported back to a Coliseum video from 1988 and you say, good Lord, there's still life yet, Get me back in there, Monty.
Still juice.
Get me back in there, because we've got some graps to discuss. So I'm delighted to be here. This is going to be a really good time because this show was awesome. I'm excited to talk about it. So good as always. Monty, how are you?
It was a really good show, and I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's always the better shows when we've got better stuff to review, and we're not kind of, I've always been accused of being a grumpy British man, usually pretty fair. Sometimes it's quite spiteful, but when it's not going to be that type of Monty today, So happy days. Speaking of happy days, Manny the Hooper's finally joined us. Manny the Hooper, how are you doing?
You guys are gonna laugh at my pain, but I mean, I woke up from my patented nap, and then when I was getting out of bed, when you like scooch out of bed, I got a cramp in my thigh, and I thought I was done. And like I had one leg on the floor, just like, and then as soon as I had one foot there, my foot got a cramp, so I had two cramps at the same time, and I fell off my bed. I was looking at my dog that's over there on the bed. I looked at her. I couldn't scream. I was just like looking at her. I was just like
hopeless.
I looked at her. She was looking at me with her one eye. I said, "Give me some help." And she just stared at me. And then, after a few minutes on the floor, just writhing in pain, I'm here on the show.
We need to. So people in the chat pop for it too. But patented nap is one of the funniest phrases you've ever said on the show. My patented nap.
I knew it. I said as we opened up the podcast, I'm sure Manny will have some kind of story to come back with, and there it was. We hope you're good, Manny. Hope it's not a long time injury, I hope you can make it through this game that we've got lined up today. We need you out there.
All right, man. I can't be rested, man. I got the game later tonight, so I mean.
It's a big one.
You gotta watch the Heat play.
Go Heat. All right. Should we jump right into AEW Dynamite, or should we talk a few other little things that I've made a little note of?
I think Dynamite was eventful enough. We should go for it personally. But I'm happy to.
Dive straight in.
It was. I want to talk about it. I'm fired up.
Yeah, man.
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go.
All right. The show started off with first things I want to say is the crowd was great. Great from start to finish. Immediately you could just feel it. It started off with the trios match, Blackpool Combat Club versus Bandido and the Lucha Bros, and if you've got a hot crowd, that's almost like the perfect opener to feed to them. So this was great. Loved it because of course it delivered as expected. Manny the Hooper, fresh on the court. What did you think of this one?
Bro, man, Dynamite's back, bro. Tony Khan with his fastball. He said he wanted to wipe the taste out of our mouths about the past month and a half and said, "Here you guys go. We're back and we're ready to run." And we took off running last night. And we almost started flying. But, I think
The way so dramatic with you, man. It was good stuff, man. It was good shit.
Bro, I woke up this morning for work and I said, "Fuck, man, I gotta listen to that Callis interview again." And then I went on YouTube. It wasn't there. I had to go, find it some other means. I'm not gonna say how because I don't want Mark Cuban coming after me, but I had to. I found it, I watched it, and I clipped it, and I posted it, and I kept watching it throughout the day. And that's how you make you feel, man. I'm ready to go.
The Hooper discovers real heat, created a monster. It was a great Dynamite, man. Obviously, we'll get to Callis soon enough. But yeah, I love the trios. Hulbert, your thoughts on the opener?
We kind of we scratched the surface on this last night, right? We kind of talk about the potential of this match. It's one of those deals where they do so many kind of all-star trios and things of that ilk where you can take for granted like just the level of talent in this particular match. And I think it was pretty quickly on display. You did not need to be an expert to know that Bandito was going to go nuts here, especially because he was most likely going to get pinned, and he absolutely did. He made the most of his shine in here. He had like 2 different occasions where he took a hot tag after getting the heat on him, which I was pretty impressive. I assumed that he like asked for that, and Penta was like, "Fuck, man, if you want." I mean, I'm not really keen on doing it, so you can do it. And yeah, it was an absolute hoot. This Blackpool Combat Club act has leveled up dramatically since the heel turn, and I was a big fan of them as baby faces. But this heel turn has turned. They're on the road to being an all-time act right now. For me personally, I just love the whole. Everyone has their own personality, but they gel so well together. Claudio is taking such pride in everything that Yuta does correctly. Pops to me, and Moxley being. Moxley feels totally unlocked as a heel, right? Because he doesn't even have to worry about going through the formality of being like a hero. He could just be Mox, and all the weirdness that entails is there. So this was terrific in every way. I love this. Perfectly set the tone. Great match.
Speaking of the act, of course, he wasn't involved in the match, but Bryan Danielson on commentary, the kind of coach, coach/fan role that he plays in the commentary booth, he pops me. But yeah, all rounders and they've been great, and as Joe said, definitely on the path to greatness. Charlie, I'm sure you was a big fan of this. What's your thoughts coming out of this match?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. Like with Bandito, like just getting all his shit off, and Penta and Phoenix like working around him, because he did feel like him and Yuta really felt like the main focus of this match. And the other guys were just like not supporting roles, because that's the wrong way to like talk about the others involved. But it really did feel like they were trying to build it around Bandito and Yuta, and they succeeded. It was really good. Brian pops me so much when he's on commentary, like him screaming at Yuta to like kick out and to pin properly. It makes me laugh so much. But yeah, man, this was really good. There's not much else to say about it. I'm just really excited to see what Blackpool Combat Club do more next, and who else they like attack, because they're just going after anyone and everyone at the moment.
Yeah. I love how Bandito always does his, he's someone who's always going to put spots in matches that you're going to remember. Like you're going to leave, if you've never seen him before, you're going to leave the show remembering something that he did. Of course, this case would have been, the 60-second delayed suplex that he did. So, he's always somebody. He's definitely a special talent, and all the people involved are, to be honest. But yeah, this was great from start to finish. Next up, we had a Hangman Page and Bucks being interviewed backstage. Of course, they were asked about, the chaotic events of Anarchy in the arena and all that followed. And they were then interrupted by the Dark Order, who seemed pretty jealous and spiteful that Hangman is now reunited with his old friends, and they seem to be like, just feeling forgotten about and stuff like that. Seemed a bit bitter about it, etc., etc. It was also mentioned that Kenny Omega's left the country. It was assumed by was it Marvez? Is that who's doing the interview?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was assumed by Marvel that he'd gone to Canada, but that wasn't the case. We didn't find out where, and that, of course, ensued a lot of speculation about what is Kenny doing out of the country. Is he gone to find backup? Is he, what's he cooking over there? Of course, I'm going to throw it to Charlie first. It's only right. Charlie, what is the conspiracy here?
I think Kenny's going to show up at Dominion after the. It's either going to be when Blackpool Combat Club have their match or after the Ospreay Lance Archer match, I think it is, to find out who he's going to be facing at Forbidden Door. It just makes sense that he would be in Japan right now. Whether that means he's coming with backup as well, who knows? Dark Order, though, this has been a thing on BTE for about 3 months now. So people can stop complaining that they don't do it on TV because they finally do it on TV, and then people complain when they do it on TV anyway. So I don't know what you guys want, but yeah, we're getting that trios match like soonish, I would imagine, which is interesting. Heel Dark Orders, because they definitely felt like a heel in that segment.
They need something. Yeah, they need something.
They need something. I tweeted last night that it would be really funny if Takeshita and Don Callis swerved and linked up with them. I really hope it doesn't happen, but it'd be really fucking funny if it happened.
I'm gonna be honest, it would be funny, but we would lose one of our Manny would never watch wrestling again.
That's the first thing I thought of. We'd lose poor Manny, bro. If that went down.
I finally see a monster heel thing, like heel manager in act. And I was like, man, this can draw money for years to come. And he put him with the Dark Order. I said, man, I'm done.
I don't think it's gonna happen. It just occurred to me because they've been doing a bit on BT for like weeks where they're like lost because they don't like have any of their friends anymore and they don't have a leader. And I was just like, it would be hilarious, but just keep them lost. We don't need that.
These guys are like puppies that are like in the back of the group, where they
essentially.
They're looking for their guide dog, the alpha dog. They don't have one. Just wait a couple years for Evil Uno. No, not Evil Uno. Brody. What's his name? Brody Jr.
Yes, that's getting him confused with Evil Uno is an insane thing you just did. But,
It's only something man you could do.
I do wonder, Charlie. I'm intrigued by your read on this because as a novice to the law game, this feels a little bit like a bat signal for the Ibushi deal to me. This is like because I think you could be both. Like I think he could show up on Sunday at Dominion, but I also think this could be like the storyline route to Ibushi coming in. 100%. That feels very feasible, right? So
yeah, I think it's a matter of when, not if, with Ibushi. Like they're hint, like we'll get to like the Takeshita Don Callis promo, but they're hinting so heavy at like 2 people showing up because obviously people are like, it's going to be Ibushi, and I think the other one's going to be Okada, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting later in the show. We'll get to it, but that Okada moment was very. There was a certain.
They panned the camera down. It was really good.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to say something real quick since Monty didn't ask me about it. The trios match at the beginning. I just want to give a shout out.
I asked you first.
No, you didn't.
Yes, he did. He threw it to you first. He said, "Manny, what did you think of this?"
Oh.
You didn't review it, and I even tried to throw it to you kind of again, without doing it blatantly. And you just didn't take the ball, man. You didn't take the ball.
Headband's too tight, Manny. Go on, mate. What are you gonna say?
Fuck, man, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape on that one. I didn't even know.
What was you gonna say anyway? Wait. You had something to say. That's why you brought this up.
I just want to give a shout out to Moxie's hoodie, the Jeff Jutsu. Zero fucks given. That was awesome. And then the Bandito Judah forearm exchange.
You was asked about that match, and you said we started running so fast.
That's what that was about. I thought
you said it, bro. Yeah.
I thought you asked me about Dynamite overall.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh man.
My bad.
God bless. But yeah, the Death Jitsu stuff, it did pop me quite a lot, especially the way Brian was screaming it on commentary. But yeah, that was good stuff. But Joe, Manny, you got anything you want to add about the about the Elite Backstage segment, where is Kenny Omega, what country is Kenny Omega in, all that sort of stuff.
No, not really.
I just like that we got, the main angle on the pay-per-view. We had some semblance of follow-up on both sides of the ball there, right? Blackpool Combat Club wrestled. Danielson took a shot at the Elite not wrestling. We go immediately to an Elite promo. I thought one of the things that was a real strength throughout the show, alongside the action that obviously I loved, but the action is generally there with AEW. I thought they did a pretty good job of making it clear that you missed a pay-per-view if you did on Sunday. Sometimes they do a pay-per-view. The next week it's like, if you bought it, you bought it. I thought they emphasized, without being too much, but I thought there was a lot of references to it and the idea of a fallout, which it's ironic they did it with this show because, it was the show that we were most divided on. But I'm glad they did it nonetheless. So that was a positive throughout, I thought.
All right. So next up, I believe we had the Bullet Club Gold promo. Joe's lighting effects coming.
Stop wearing sunglasses for this show, man.
But, all right, Dynamite Bullet Club Gold promo, of course, means Jay White and Juice Robinson. Jay White finally getting a live mic in the Dynamite ring with Tony Schiavone as well, which is an extra pop. And his involvement was definitely welcome in this segment, especially the way that they went about it. And they were talking their shit, and they got interrupted by FTR and he called them Blackpool Combat Club, Bullet Club Gold. Then they kind of got close to Schiavone and was kind of using him as almost like a human shield. They then offered FTR if they wanted to be in the Bullet Club, which popped me. Man, it's there was tensions brewing, and as those tensions were brewing, Juice he loaded up that fist with them. He loaded his fist with some coins of some sort, and he basically just hit Dax with that knockout blow, man. Yeah. Coins flew everywhere. Cash didn't know what happened. He tried tackling Juice to the ground. There was a bunch of commotion. Ricky Starks then runs out, makes a save of sorts, and Bullet Club Gold. They run off through the crowd. I thought this was a really good, well done segment. A proper angle. Angle on a proper wrestling show with some proper wrestlers. Holbert, I know this is your kind of stuff. What did you think of this?
Yeah, this was very Nitro, very very Nitro, and Schiavone in the jean spot and the way they use Schiavone to their advantage. I'm always a fan of the interview kind of framing of these segments anyway. I much prefer it to guys just kind of walking out there, and talking like doing a monologue. You had an interview scenario. They used Tony rather than just yanking the mic out of his hand. They made a real show of being arseholes to Schiavone, which is always easy heat because we all love Tony Schiavone, and they're fucking with his tie and they're messing with him and intimidating him. And Jay White is just such a tremendous character and personality in promo. And Juice Robinson, if nothing else, is just fucking weird. I mean, he's just a weird fella, and it's good TV. He's nuts, It's fun. And so while this may not be like the premium act you could put Jay White in, it's certainly a fun one in the time being. And their promo is terrific. FTR came out, and the timing on the punch that you were referencing, Monty, was like perfection. And Dax's sell was like spot on because he could have overdone it, which was not necessary considering the visual was as sweet as it was. Like with the quarters flying, you didn't need it. He just dropped to a knee, unless I'm mistaken. It was like grabbing his jaw. And Schiavone had this call about, I think it was Schiavone. No, it couldn't have been Schiavone. It was what was it? Was it Excalibur who had the call about? He has one of the toughest jaws in AEW, and even he's right. I was like, that's good shit. I like that stuff. And I think it was Excalibur. I'm pretty sure. And there was like intensity to Cash's response. There was some juice. There was some energy. There's some life to it. This was a real TV angle. It was absolutely terrific. And then Ricky had a promo to finish it off. So this was real graps personified. I loved everything about this, and I'm excited for the match too. Both being the singles match next week and the eventual tag match. I like all of this.
I just liked how it felt like a significant part of the show. I mean, it's like even if you wanted to complain about Jay White not being in like a huge singles featured title chase feud or something, it's like this sort of angle is kind of what people wanted to see from him, like fans of his anyway. Even if you are going to just throw him in the tag team or whatever, like at least give him the room to breathe, to be able to like talk in front of live crowds and stuff. And I thought he absolutely took advantage of that in playing his role in this segment. I thought it was great. Charlie, what did you think of the segment overall?
I really liked it. Juice and Jay have such a good dynamic on TV, and when you throw Shivani in with them as well, it was just so funny. Like, because if you could, like, they don't have to try to be comedic; they're just so good at what they do that it just rolls. And I'm like really interested to see where this is going to go with FTR, like, because obviously they're gonna do the tag match eventually, but there's got to be a trios match here as well at some point, surely. And I'm just interested to see who's going to be the third person for Bullet Club Gold. Because when they put up the match graphic later in the show, they didn't say Bullet Club Gold and FTR are banned from ringside. They only specified Juice Robinson. So I think we could see a new member next week, and that's how Jay's going to win the match. But my guess would be El Phantasmo, but who knows?
You heard it here first.
Yeah, don't put stock in things I say.
No. You said it now. If it's not El
Phantasmo,
Phantasmo, we will point and we will blame and we will send me messages.
Speaking of such, I would like to know I put my name to this being an important segment. So, Monty, please, tip me accordingly for the month's work. I did put my name to there. I did stress that if I was wrong, it would never be brought up again. But I did not clarify what would happen if I was right. So, Manny, unfortunately, your cut's going to have to be taken from. But nonetheless, Manny, what did you think of this segment, mate?
That was awesome, bro. I thought this was like real drafts. It was called I just loved like when Jay White just put his arm around Tony Schiavone like he was like a hostage when FTR came out. Like, if you do anything funny, this guy's gonna get it or whatever. And then like Juice just messing with his hair. And then I thought the best part of this thing was when Juice punched at Dax and Jay White just looked confused on what was going on. Yeah. And then as soon as he realized Cash was attacking Juice, he's like, okay. And then just like started beating him up. And then just led to that. These guys are awesome on TV. I'm so glad they're able to cut a promo in front of on live TV in front of everybody because it just felt like they were above everybody else for something. Like they just felt above everybody else, and it was just so electric. I can't wait to see what this act is in the next couple of weeks or something like that.
I also like the kind of baked in pop of there's a pop to them offering FTR a spot in Bullet Club Gold that is like singular to who they're offering it, because anyone who's a fan of FTR, that's like funny in itself, right? The idea of that being something that would pop them, that's good heat. Like Jay White being like, yeah, man, you guys would love to be in Bullet Club Gold. Like that's good shit. I love that from a heel perspective too, and the crowd responded accordingly. So this was a home run. This was really good stuff.
And how no matter like the loaded punch is so ridiculous, but for some reason I believed it. Like in that 1 second, so this can knock somebody out.
The timing was sweet on that, wasn't it? Good Lord, great stuff. And you're right.
Yeah, Juice is good with the. Juice is he's good with those straight lefts. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. Jay White, of course, premium TV, brother. All right. Next up, we have Tony Khan's big announcements. And he announces, very awkwardly as he does with the Tony Khan charm, which we've all grown to know and love at this point. For better or for worse, he makes a collision regarding an announcement, and it's what we all expected it to be. CM Punk will be featured on AEW Collision. It was... his delivery when saying CM Punk is something that needs to be studied and examined for years to come.
Yes.
It was. I was expecting him to like lead it in, like an announcer. Yeah. Like I wasn't expecting like the full buffer, but just at least something, like former AEW champion or whatever.
This is his guy.
Call him. Like there seems to be a bit of obviously Tony Khan wants him there, otherwise he wouldn't be here. Like it's simple as that. It's his company. He calls the shots, and right. He of course feels like the dust has settled enough where he can sneak him in to see if he can work it out long term. I guess he didn't tweet about it. He didn't. It seems like we all know as fans anyway. We don't know. I don't know Tony. I've never actually spoke to him, but it feels like we all know that like he wants Punk there. He actively wants Punk there.
Yes.
And it's like He's not like, he's not being as like shouty about it as I'd expect him to be. It kind of feels like he knows it's divisive and he's kind of got his tail between his legs a little bit with it. Am I going crazy, Joe?
I think you're going crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The announcement.
No, just in general. I don't know. There's just
I know exactly what you mean. Like there was just like a sense of awkwardness about it, like the way he delivered it. And I know Tony's awkward anyway.
There's no tweet, Joe.
There was no tweet.
I didn't know that.
He normally posts on his Instagram story as well. There was nothing on Instagram, nothing on Twitter. Like, I don't know, man. It was a bit weird.
I thought he looked like overjoyed.
Yeah, I thought he looked super excited that his boy's back.
He popped on both the C and the M. CM Punk. He said, I said, God damn, he can't wait to get him back. I had the opposite.
I don't mean not. I just mean in general. I'm talking generally speaking.
Oh,
AO's here. You good, AO? You sound good.
This is kind of laughy here, and before you get killed.
No sellout, Monty. What happened, bro? Yesterday, I told you they're making this little cutesy announcement because the ticket's not ticketing. Well, the announcement's been made. Yeah, our good friend here, backup hangman of WrestlePurists, Ibrahim Niang, said that CM Punk was gonna sell out the United Center twice on a rumor. Well, the rumor thing didn't work out now, did it, Hangman? So then the whole rumor idea got punted. They said, fuck it. We gon' ain't no J. Cole, nigga. They said, fuck it. You know what? We just gonna announce that CM Punk's pulling up. They announced CM Punk pulled up, and they did what? Like 600 tickets overnight? John Cena would never. Meanwhile, look at this bitch ass nigga. Look at this bitch ass. Hangman, what happened?
With what?
Why them tickets not ticketing after the announcement?
You tell me an AEW show that's done in advance of 7,500 people for a TV taping this year.
It's
Name
not 70. Is it 7,500?
Yeah, it's 7,500, bitch.
You tell me. Why did you tweet that they was gonna sell the United Center twice on a rumor? Why did you tweet that?
It's configured for 10K and it's gonna sell out to 10K.
It's configured for 10K. That's a 23,000 seat arena.
Hey, it's configured for 10K and
it's
can't sell out. We count.
You know what?
We count.
First dance was 14K, so 10K.
The first dance was 15.
AO is like talking every single space.
No. The first dance was 15,300.
WrestleTix, I think it was 14.
I looked it up. Just checked. Did I check Wiki Cage match? Hold on.
I looked at the tweet, but that's my reference. I haven't looked.
All right.
I haven't done the cage.
Are we doubting my man Tix?
You don't know that, nigga. Anyway, like I was saying, the tickets not ticketing. The last time John Cena got announced for a TV taping, they moved 5,000 tickets in 2 days. Roman Reigns gets announced for a TV taping. It's 2,000 tickets off the shelf, just like that. Some people are needle movers. You feel me? And some people just aren't.
Are you saying CM Punk is not a needle mover?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm gonna just let what happens show for itself. You feel me? I'm not even gonna respond to that. That's a facts and numbers based argument, and I'll let the facts and the numbers trickle in. So we shall see in about a month and a half.
Heard it here first.
What's up? How's everybody doing, man? Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah,
I'm having a great day. Get that bullshit off my screen. Anyway.
I'm having a good day too.
Hey, speaking of since you're putting up chats, we'll get into some super chats. Let's fall through this all. Special shout out to Darren Cage with the $10 super chat sent before the podcast. He said he can't watch live because of work, so he's sending this early. I thought Dynamite was really, really good. So do we. Also, I think the money the money in the Callis Takeshita duo is in Take's eventual face turn on that Carney piece of shit. Well, there's still a lot of legs to go before we even get there. You know, a lot. It seems like a lot of legs on it. So, you know, we'll. That does seem like it'll probably be the eventual ending destination in fucking whatever year it is. You know. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. Now the GOAT CM Punk is officially back. Monty, can you send a link to WrestlePurists GOAT Ibu, or do we have to wait till Sunday night? You're in Darren.
Darren, it's your lucky day, my brother. It's your lucky day.
Here he is.
You know what I'm
on
saying?
his way to sprinting to work.
Hey, y'all be honest with me, yo. Y'all be honest with me. CM Punk gets announced yesterday, and everybody on the roster that came out and performed, right? Did they not all have a pep in their step?
What the fuck?
Did they all not?
This is a nasty way to spin it.
Because check this out. You know what it is? The boys in the back know that the checks are about to start checking. You feel me? When it comes to these pay-per-views, these houses, these ratings, everybody's going to eat as a result of this man. And so because of that, you know, them 3.5 start turning into 3.25. That's just what happens. You know what I mean? You start getting inspired basketball.
Your dumbass just said those 3.5 turned to 3.25. You fucking idiot.
You know what I mean?
You moron. That's why nobody should take anything you say seriously.
Fuck you.
Anyway, why can't CM Punk do $15K in his hometown, Ebru?
Hey, yo, how many?
What's the issue?
How many people are going to be in the building showtime?
12, maybe 12.
And so 12 is a tremendous number, is it not?
You said he was going to sell out. What happened?
Listen,
what happened?
So,
United Center fits 23,000 people.
These are just numbers at the end of the day, man. You know.
Oh, it's an Afro pick. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
All right, before we keep going in circles of what happened, you know.
Duh! What happened? Duh!
Jacob Donnelly, $5. Can we get a weekly 10-minute segment dedicated to Manny telling stories of his day-to-day life? You get that anyway.
You know why I don't want that? Because at some point in the story, he's going to say, I almost shit myself.
And I'll leave immediately.
Exactly. Do we need that? Do we really need that? No.
Do the people need that? I don't know.
Yo, it's
Zayd Nadi.
bitch outside.
Okay.
Such a dumbass.
Zayd Nadi, $4.99. Appreciate it. FTR versus Bucks 3 for all the titles. One of the biggest missed opportunities ever in hindsight. Given the Acclaimed run, it hurts more, but hey, Punk is back. I mean, loaded. I was very for FTR versus Bucks for like the 4 belts or whatever it was that would have been included at the time when it was like most talked about.
Yeah.
And I do think it is a shame that we didn't get it last year, you know. But you know, it's wrestling. It happens. It's just one of those things. I'm sure they will do the third match in AEW at some point.
What FTR needs to do is write a kindly worded letter to Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson for allowing them to get the IWGP heavyweight tag belts. Yeah. All right, so we'll start there, and then we can work towards the trilogy.
What could have been? Anyway.
I don't know. David Michael Harwood, Dax Harwood of FTR, $5. Appreciate you. No Ibu again. Guess the Hooper will do. Open invite to watch Nigel matches in my hotel room. Maybe a surprise if you look at.
Man,
so
over here, man. Always, man. You gotta worry about your glass jaw right now. You shouldn't be worried about me and Nigel matches in the hotel room.
Average Limp Biscuit Enjoyer, £4.99. Appreciate you as always. Mazfan84, $1.99. Appreciate you. Mexicans and Japanese rule the wrestling game. They always have. They always have. Showtown Spurs, $2. Booed out the building.
Booed out the fucking building.
Callis or
no, he's talking about that Illinois Philippe announcement.
Philippe.
It was definitely
my fault, Illinois Felipe.
Definitely a mixed bag in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh my god, the way they snuffed out that CM Punk chant with booze was delicious.
It was a reaction, you know.
Look, this is me, Monty. You know me, my objective criticisms, right? This is what happened. Joe, what's going on, bro? What are you laughing at? Anyway, I'm gonna let you know what happened, right? So TK went out there. He said that the first episode of Collision will be featuring CM Punk. There was a loud pop, but there was an undercurrent of boos, right? And then the people who did pop try to get their little CM Punk, and then the crowd just shut that shit the fuck down. They booed them. They said no, none of that. And now you look at all the news aggregators. What are they talking about? CM Punk chants booed. Y'all told me I was delusional.
Monty, what do you gotta say
About what?
What do you mean?
You said aggregators.
Aggregate.
Speak on behalf of your people. Why was it running with those headlines?
I can't talk for the other aggregators' headlines. You know, they do their things, we do ours. You know,
is AO trying to get a takeoff about the reaction Phil got for his announcement? Is that what he's trying to do?
No, he's attacking the aggregators.
No, I'm shit. I want to look every news aggregator. I'm gonna walk over to the UK. Yes, you heard me. I said walk. I'm gonna look every news aggregator in the eye who said that CM Punk got booed last night. I'm gonna shake their fucking hand.
You know what's the funny thing about it? AO and many other people try to come at me like, "Yo, how you feel? Yo, they're booing your mans." People act like I care about.
Bro, no, don't do this, because I'll just publish the DMs right now. You were in shambles.
No, I wasn't.
All right. I'll post the DMs. Don't worry.
That's right, man.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
The point is this: I listened to this reaction. You know what I thought? It's money either way. You realize that this guy's a generational heel, right? You realize that he doesn't.
Cope.
You realize he genuinely doesn't give a fuck if he's booed. He'd rather be a heel. So
you know who did care?
Who?
I'll drop that Big AO Elite story on there, and Monty fires me.
Oh my god. Whatever. Listen, y'all enjoy the rest of this podcast. Just know that there's no coincidence that AEW is back. Y'all notice the company's back the same time that Phil is back. I'm just saying. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you this June.
We're in June.
It's already June. Yeah, it is June.
You fucking idiot.
17th, baby.
Hey, man.
It goes silent till then because that sounds like something you need to promise.
He's out of there. All right. Trust the Process 34, $4.99. AO using Cena and Roman to bash Punk for not being a needle mover instead of using Kenny and the Elite. LMAO, I wonder why. Shameless.
Hey, Trust the Process. Do me a favor. Anarchy in the Arena was announced May 7th, I believe. Go to WrestleTix. Go see how many tickets were sold. It was about 6,000 even, and then go look at the final gate for Double or Nothing. You bit the fucking bait. Go look at how many thousands of tickets were sold after that.
There it is. Trust Process again. $4.99. Many thoughts on TK booking of Mexican wrestlers and them constantly losing / jobbing. DK, don't know the last time one of them won a Dynamite singles match. Manny, your thoughts?
Fuck it, bro. I mean, we're losers. I mean, it is what it is.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
He just kind of shrugged it off.
If I'm looking for a Mexican to win, man, I'll just go turn on boxing or something. You know, that's the only time.
My response to that, as a non-Mexican but lover of Lucha Libre, is: would you rather see the Lucha Bros and Bandito get match time on Dynamite against the BCC and unfortunately do the job? Or would you rather see them just be protected? Oh, these guys can't lose. Then we get Kip Sabian, Butcher, and the Blade up there.
I knew that was coming. I knew he was going to use
So you let me know, Trust the Process. Which one do you think is better TV?
Look, guys, it's a long road for us over here, man. We gotta take whatever stuff we can. You know, first we'll take the TV time. We already got the tag belts once. I mean, come on, we can't be pushing it anymore. Like we're Ring of Honor champions, you know. Let's just say the victory is for Canelo, you know. Just give them to him, you know.
Or Manny talking from the heart, you know.
All
We love it.
the
It's good
Mexican
content,
winners
you
in
know?
the UFC right now, so you know we gotta, we're you can't spread the wealth around. Kip Sabian.
Vic Foley 199. Preach, Ibu. Not sure what part that was at, but appreciate the super
Emphasis
chat.
on the glick in your name.
M Zadong, $5. Ibu, you must stop supporting these false idols and believe in the strength of the masses. Reggie for $10, appreciate it. I just smashed my TV in front of my family because of TK's announcement. My wife took our crying kids and they said they're spending a week at the motel. Punk has ruined my family and my household. I'm so sorry to hear that. But
Isn't Jay?
maybe you need to
Just the least affected CM Punk victim. I'm so sorry, Reggie.
the least gotten to.
Least affected Punk victim. It's only worse from here.
Oh man! All right, back to Dynamite then. Please do keep the super chats coming. We appreciate them as always. And yeah, man. Back to Dynamite. We had a triple threat match. It was Swerve Strickland versus Big Bill versus Trent Barrera. Good shit, man. Big Bill was out there, big billing. You know.
Big Bill.
Yeah. So I've got the win here. Of course, it was announced not too long after this match that he will be facing Orange Cassidy for the international title. I'm kind of expecting him to win that as well as this triple threat match, you know. Yeah, it seems like on the path that he's on, it seems to be, you know, a very logical move for him to be, you know, given this kind of ball to run with if he does end up taking the belt from Orange. I'm sure it'll be a great match as well, you know. But this triple threat, it was good fun. It was a good time, you know. Charlie, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun time. Big Bill, he's so funny on TV, and he's like a good wrestler as well. Like, he's really come into his own these last couple of months on Dynamites and Rampages. So I'm glad like he's the one that's being put in these spots. Him, Swerve, and Trent all had like really good chemistry. And I don't think they've all really wrestled that much, so that was quite surprising. But I thought it was a good time. I popped for the Superplex. It was a really good spot.
Charlie, we have breaking news.
No.
The international champion Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin are facing Big Bill and Ego, Ethan Page, in Tupelo.
There's no way you said breaking news and announced the house show match.
Hey man, I watch these house show matches, man. For Big Bill especially, he goes out there and
You watched like two.
Man, he's seen 1.5 house show matches, and is now the WrestlePurists house show correspondent.
Stopping a positive Big Bill review to announce irrelevant Big Bill news is despicable. Despicable, mate.
It is something.
Coincidence that they both came out at the same time. We're talking about Big Bill and these new. Somebody in AEW is watching.
You know what, Manny? You clearly you're crying out for the ball there. You know, Big Bill, the big fan of Big Bill, Manny. What do you think of the triple threat?
Bro, I thought he was a standout of this match. He was just cooking everywhere, man. Like I liked how Swerve and Trent had to like double team him to get him out of here. You know, what's that thing called? A black hole slam, or what is it called? Is that what it's called, right?
Black hole slam.
Yeah, that he's an expert at that move. Look, man, I don't know how he got good at wrestling, man. I heard before he sucked, and now for some reason AEW
around for a minute, man. So
yeah,
I mean this guy's an upper mid carder. I'll put the TNT title on him. You know, this is the kind of level this guy is at. You know, you see him coming out there with his like wet ass, wet hair. He was just out there ready to go.
His wet what?
that was a...
Oh man.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Your boy Swerve, he got the win here. He's going on to a title match. What's your takeaway?
I'll get very spiteful on the timeline next week if Swerve Strickland is not the new international champion. You see all these bad faith grifters doing redoing all the All Elite white people bits and shit on the timeline now. Tony Khan, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. TK, do the right thing next week, brother. Do the right thing next week.
I think you will. Joe,
Brighton's been on the ball.
very much like myself. When it's not a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2, it's you can grimace a little bit. But what did you think of this triple threat match? I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I was very good actually. Trent is like, I mean, I say inconsistent so often that some point, not inconsistent, underrated so often.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if like we've got to the point where he's actually rated fairly, and I'm just repeating myself. But I still believe it. I think he's like one of the best professional wrestlers in that promotion that no one ever brings up in those lists, right? Like, I'm not saying he's the best, but God, he's so good, and he's bumping in this match. He was like the glue guy because you had two heels you wanted to make look good, and so Trent had to serve the purpose of basically playing both those roles, right, for both guys, and they really made a point, with Swerve getting the win of making Bill look good in particular, as much to Manny's grin over there in the bottom corner. So they did a good job of that, and Bill was worthwhile in that regard too. All the space he was given, he made the most of. There was the picture-in-picture break, which I know not every, stateside is kind of hard to pay attention to, but Bill was kicking the shit out of those guys in the picture-in-picture. He was clobbering them on the outside. He kept the people engaged. It was genuinely, it was really, really well worked. And again, I'm not like a huge triple threat guy, but I thought in this particular match, I thought it worked for everyone involved. So more of this, honestly. If you have the right, group of talent, gets another guy on TV, it adds some variety to the show. I like that a lot.
AEW does a good job with these matchups with triple threats and multi-teams, multi-people matches. They keep everybody involved. You never really see anybody doing nothing. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Also here, it's like Swerve, you can kind of get away with it with Swerve because the bit was that Swerve was picking his, he was picking where he should picking his spots, where he should come in, and he obviously was going to inevitably pick the perfect spot, and he did for the finish, right? Big Bill basically had Trent beat, and he swept in there, so it was really good stuff.
Yeah, they made a point on commentary that Swerve wrestled a smart match, so it made sense that when there was someone out of the ring, it was normally Swerve. So
yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man, and I think we all think Swerve takes the belt off Orange next week, or does anyone think Orange sneaks out of there very hurt and battered with the belt still wrapped around his leg?
I don't think it makes sense to set up this match and have Swerve lose it at this point.
This is the end of the line, brother.
Yeah.
If not Swerve, then who?
Yeah,
Roosh is on vacation. He's not gonna be back anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
After you did the Battle Royal finish, and if you're going back to Swerve's winning. He has to. So that's an exciting direction, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Roosh, this was your belt. You're gone.
But was that because you could see Roosh politicking for it on Twitter, and I feel like if that's where the story was going, he wouldn't have done that. I feel like he would just been oh, y'all are gonna see, but instead he was just oh, the fans, you gotta listen to the you know what? I don't know if y'all saw any of those tweets, but he was just basically I'll be champion one day if the fans stay behind me like this. I was like, bro, you're a heel. But if that's where they was going, I don't think he would have been tweeting like that.
Well, it seems weird because it seems like everybody in AEW is behind him. Because if you especially hear Danielson from the presser, it seems like he's 100% behind him.
No, he's fucking amazing, bro.
And then, but I have a new theory. I think he's going after the FTW title.
Interesting.
I would say that's not your best idea.
I didn't know what to say.
Taking a young man who has wrestled for 2 years and saying, "Hey man, do you want to work Roosh on TV and get the fuck being out?" I would not personally go. I mean, it sounds awesome, but I would probably avoid putting Hook in that spot.
Well, I mean, if he beats Hook, then you can take the title off him. Hook can do whatever he wants to do now. Then, I mean, I feel like the FTW title.
I don't think the FTW really stopped Hook from doing much. To be honest.
Yeah, Hook's he has this whole aura built around him, and that would be an interesting direction because Roosh, to get Roosh to sell, you have to punch Roosh very hard and basically make him turn. I don't know. We'll see.
I think
if I see the match graphic, I'm with you, man.
I just think the belt represents Roosh, fuck the world,
You think that about most belts, though. To be fair, right? This one really fits Roosh,
Well, that's true.
Next up, we had a clip of Chris Statlander, which shows some of her journey back and winning the TBS title and stuff, and her reaction backstage where she was emotional and stuff. And it was a nice clip to have, kind of what Joe was saying earlier about really drilling on that there was a pay-per-view last week, So that was nice to see. Then next up, we had the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. They come out and kind of like a mission statement. I think Billy Gunn can win gold one last time. He can bring up how they were screwed out of the normal tag titles. And yeah, man, this was very short and sweet with Renee on the stage. Probably lasted about a minute, And
More of
yeah,
this.
all right. And then, well, John, you had to get into something.
It's more of this, more mission statements, more wrestlers talking about belts they want to win, more short interviews live in front of the crowd that are not, set up for attacks. I just thought it was a nice piece of business, and more follow up on the pay per view too. So, a positive.
Yeah, mate. Good stuff. All right, real business. Don Callis and Takeshita live promo, introduced by a disgusted Tony Schiavone, who could barely get Don Callis' name out of his mouth because he was just so disgusted by him, And they make their entrance. Don Callis and Takeshita, they walk out there, and the Titantron is literally just them kicking the shit out of. It was good stuff, man. Obviously they come out to loads of boos, like an insane amount of heat, genuinely an insane amount of heat. Then as soon as Don Callis gets in there and he gets asked questions of why, what was you thinking, etc., the sort of questions you expect him to be asked. As soon as he goes to answer, the heat he gets ramped up and he's just getting booed and booed. You can barely hear what anyone's saying. Really, probably like the most heat anyone's ever got in AEW. Probably quite comfortably as well. Like this was really something, It really well. I'll let you guys kind of take the ball with this one. It was a lot of heat. Like I said, probably the most heat I've ever seen in an AEW ring, for a heel anyway. Charlie, how disgusted are you in Don Callis and Takeshita?
Man, it's tough times. It's tough times to be an Elite fan if you were also a Takeshita fan, but I think this is going to be a really special heel run. Like, the amount of heat they were getting from the crowd, it's like they hated them. They were so bad. It was it was really someone else to watch. But like the promo Don Callis was cutting, it was like there was parts of it that was like very reminiscent of like previous promos he's done with Kenny, and I think that was by design because these guys don't do anything accidentally. But there was moments of he was like listing off everyone that Takeshita's better than, and that's very reminiscent of what Kenny did in a random promo in Impact, if anyone remembers that. But the one person they left off the list that was like very noticeable is that they didn't mention Ibushi. So I think that's like just another thing of he's coming eventually. Like, just we don't want to talk about him, but he's coming. And they also did they threw a card on the end and they panned down to the Forbidden Door sign. It's just like there's definitely something there with that. And then like having Takeshita just cut a promo in Japanese as well. Kenny used to do that in Japan in English because it was like, well, I'm the heel. Like, you guys don't have to understand what I'm saying. I'm just going to get my shit off sort of thing. But I thought this was a really good segment. Like, one of the best heel segments that we've seen on a Dynamite.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things to kind of analyse in what Don Callis was saying as well. His list of names, the emphasis when he mentioned Kazuchika Okada. Quite a lot of interesting wheels being turned here. Joe, what did you think?
Yeah, this is like an instant classic AEW segment, definitely. Don Callis is so good in this role. I mean, Takeshita is obviously one of the great wrestlers out there right now, but this is a real blessing for him, the spot they've put him in here, because like I thought his part of the segment was great also. But honestly, even if Takeshita didn't talk, like Callis is going to get this heat on him in some form or fashion. It will just rub off inevitably, right? So it's just the way people genuinely dislike Don Callis, and that is an increasingly rare trait to have in the professional wrestling industry. Like, there's a lot of heels, and I don't resent this as part of the way wrestling is. It's like there are a lot of like kind of wink heels, right? And like, yeah, I'm being a heel. It's like Don Callis there's genuine disdain for that guy, you know, and he thrives upon it. He loves it. And every single time they booed, he sold. Because if he doesn't sell, they're eventually going to stop booing. By selling, they were encouraged to keep booing because they were throwing him off, you know, and that's where, like, that's the genius of a guy who knows what they're doing in front of a crowd like that. And I thought he did a terrific job. He cut his promo for the TV crowd. I bet you couldn't hear a word of it in the building, but that was the point, right? And it was a hell of a promo also. So, yeah, Don Callis was killer here, and I love this whole direction. I think this is, as Manny kind of said, there's big money to be drawn with this. This is a special deal, I think, so I'm excited.
Manny, you looking forward to seeing some big money being drawn with Don?
Yeah, after that segment, and first let me tell you what I was doing. I was on Discord listening to this. Downcast came out, and like I can hear the crowd booing him, so I told everyone on Discord, I gotta go. And I exhausted, so I can just pay attention to this. And literally when he started talking, when he started naming Ricky Doles and Maeda and all these guys, I did that meme where the guy just sits down like that, he goes forward in his chair. That's what I did. That's like, and then I was just like, oh man, this guy's cooking, bro. I mean, this is awesome. And then Takeshita being thrown off by all the heat too. This is just masterful stuff. And after the end of the segment, I just said I need Takeshita to have the world champ. I need him to have the world title right now, and then have Kenny chase after him, because I think that's like one of the biggest things you can do right now. But I don't really know how fast you want to burn it. But I found two things interesting. What Callis did was, one of them, he said, "I'm going to start building my family now." So obviously means he's going to bring more members. And then another dig at Kenny Omega he did was, because he calls Kenny his nephew. Well, he's calling Takeshita his son. So I mean, this is like a I don't know how to like a 101 or promo. I don't know how to say the saying is.
Just says real graps.
Yeah, it's real graps, bro. I just need like a huge run as Takeshita as a world champion, as a heel. I just think it'll be phenomenal. But my one fear is this. I think this act is so cool that the fans are gonna start realizing it's cool, and they might start. I
think Dom will get ahead of it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because I think it's happened a few times in AEW already where the acts are so cool. Like with Miro, House of Black, MJF to a point.
For sure.
And then, I just hope that the crowd just keeps playing into it. And keep
I think those acts liked being, except for House of Black, I think Miro and MJF liked being the cool heels that got cheered and shit. But fucking Callis ain't gonna let that happen. You know what popped me the most about heel Takeshita? He's like, I'm a bad guy now, so I'm gonna just start wearing fucking Gucci belts. Fuck it. Like, where did he get this Gucci belt, bro? He just started rocking.
He was stripped out. Like,
yeah, bro. This shit is
like a star.
This shit is amazing, though. I love it. I can't wait to see where it goes. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different places they could take it. I didn't really think of Takeshita having the belt and Kenny chasing him. I think if you do that, you have Takeshita win in the end, honestly. But yeah, man, this is good shit. I don't know if I guess they're gonna put a pin in that BCC thing, but they still got a blood and guts match to work towards. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he does join the BCC. I still think United Empire is more likely at this point. They might just be waiting for Mark to get healed up before they make that official pairing. But let's see.
But the thing is, you have to catch to be affiliated with BCC until then, right? So if they do the guts,
loose affiliate.
Yeah. And one thing, Takeshita, come on, man, you can't wear Versace with a Gucci belt, man. You got to wear one or the other.
And that's been fashion with Manny the Hooper.
In his headband. Next up we had an Arn Anderson Wardlow promo. This was just kind of counting the match that they had at Double or Nothing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Wardlow laid down a challenge to the dinosaur Luchasaurus, and that could be interesting.
It could be, yes.
Could be, yeah. It could
Maybe
be,
they
it
should
could
put
be
that on,
something.
like, you know, one of those episodes of Rampage that I make the professional decision not to watch.
Yeah.
May have a home on one
That's
of those.
very
you know, I don't know if I
spiteful,
need to.
John.
I just don't know. It's Luchasaurus and Wardlow, you know. I mean, it is what it is. There's graps for everyone. That one's not for me. Win some, you lose some. If Arn Anderson wears a good tracksuit, I might tune in. That always pops me. The all white look is if he puts that one out, I might have to watch. But the promo was pretty good, though. In all seriousness, bits aside, it was a good promo.
Yeah, well, speaking of graps, that is for Joe Hall, but
Yes.
next up we have Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus the Gates of Agony.
That was good shit.
And he was, man, the Gates of Agony. As soon as they walk out on TV, like, they have a certain presence about them where you know that they would kick the shit out of you, which is always good with professional wrestlers, you know. Yeah, man, they just kind of have like a certain aura about them. I know Hall, but loved this one. This is the real graps that we like to see on our weekly television programming. So, Joe, I'll let you get into this one first.
Well, there was a match last October that I watched with Manny the Hooper on the air, and quite infamously, the Gates of Agony wrestled the FTR in a match that was actually a freestyle match that we reacted to like it was some sort of All Japan 1995 epic. But I want to be clear. It was a great time, but I want to be clear in saying that I actually like this act beyond kind of the comedy that's associated with that. Khan has always been someone who's like jumped off the page to me. The Soldiers of Savagery in Ring of Honor, him and Moses were a really nice team, and Khan has got like a great look, and he has a certain TV polish and presence that's really apparent, especially now. It's even expanded since then. Toa Leona, the first time we saw him in AEW, he did a match on Dark. I can't remember his partner, but he did a match with FTR on Dark, ironically, and they built the whole match around the fact that Toa Leona just beat the hell out of both of them. And then as soon as he tagged out, they pinned the other guy he was teaming with. And I remember, like, at the time, it being a conversation among the sickos of, oh my God, who was that dude? And then eventually he got introduced into the Tully act now here. And it's like, I'm not saying they're the best tag team in the world. That's not the point or the appeal of the Gates of Agony. But there is a sense of danger. And, like, especially with Toa Leona, it doesn't always appear he knows exactly what he's going to do next. And, man, is that refreshing. Like, everyone's offense is so polished now, but there's not a lot of intent. These guys, they feel like animals. They're like killers, you know? And it's like, they have a nice, that's an overlap between, they have a shared intensity, but they also are different in the sense that it feels like Khan is directing traffic while Toa is literally like just a savage.
A loose
he's
animal,
just running.
Yeah,
and I think they did such a good job here making the most of this like opportunity. They had like 10 minutes with two top baby faces, and it goes without saying Orange and Darby were the perfect baby faces to make them look this way, right? I mean, it's not, I mean, they're the obvious guys for that. But good Lord, I mean, they brought it here. It was an absolute hoop throughout. I even think Khan was, did a good job of kind of assisting them through that little heat segment they had in the middle. The finish was not as clean as the opening act, but it was still a good time. And this was really good wrestling TV. And let me be clear, folks, I'm not saying it's like a 4-star match, but it's just a blast, Like it was all action. It was exciting. And I think a lot of guys who are more experienced in the Gates of Agony and have more polish to them than the Gates of Agony could learn from the way they approach this match. Because look, let's be honest. They were just a hurdle on Orange's road to Swerve, and they were a chance for Darby to get a win after losing on the paper. That's what they really were in the grand scheme of things. But they certainly didn't feel that way when you watch the match, right? They felt like they were trying to make their own statement. And I think a lot of guys can learn from that. They're much more experienced and kind of, let these moments pass. So big thumbs up. I loved the match. Obviously, the baby faces opposite them are terrific at what they do. But a big night, I thought, for Gates of Agony, legitimately.
Yeah, good. It's good wrestling TV, man. The exact kind of stuff that I want to be seeing on my weekly shows, Manny, you did say just now that you went 4 stars on this ordeal here. Yeah, man, get into it.
Bro, these guys, like the physicality of these two, Bishop and Toleon bring is just second to none, or second to Roosh. But these guys, they're just the way they just beat up on Orange and Darby was just incredible. And then those dives that Darby was landing on Toa, like it was nothing. It was just, and they were just bouncing off him. And did you guys see the bump where Toa did a backdrop onto the apron? He just bounced off it like it was nothing. Bro,
That was
He's
incredible.
reckless, man.
He either like misses them like he did here and just lands on his back, or sometimes there was one time he did Blake Christian and he killed him. It was incredible.
So I was reading earlier that he started training in 2019 and had his first match in 2021. So like, this guy's only 2 years into his career, and if he's like, I mean, I don't want to say good, but I want to say a good vibes wrestler. I mean, this guy's the limit for this man, and I just can't wait to see what he does and how they develop, because they have him in there with a lot of good they have him surrounded by a lot of good guys. So I can't wait to see his development in the next few years.
Because I remember that dark match I referenced was like just months after his debut altogether. You can tell he's a freak athlete, right? The way he moves is crazy. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. He's a savage. Charlie, are you a big fan of the Gates of Agony?
I mean, I wasn't, but after that tag match, I'm like, I need to see more of it, because it was just a good time, man. I haven't really got much more to add because you guys kind of covered it all, but they were taking some crazy bumps for like a random tag on a Dynamite. Like they were going for it. And Darby and Orange Cassidy have such good chemistry as like a random tag team. And like I love tag teams like this where you just throw a couple of guys together and see what happens. I want to see if they run this trios match that they like kind of teased after with Sting coming back. Like, who would you put in for the third guy? Would you put Brian Cage in with them, like on the other side?
I think you do Swerve, because.
Or I was gonna say, or do you do it as Swerve? Because I said Mogul Embassy in the group chat, like when we were talking about it last night. So
probably Swerve, because I guess with Cage they would be the champs technically, and Tony's brain would that means Sting is the 6-man Ring of Honor tag team. So you'd probably put Swerve. But on the All-Star tag thing is a real thing. Like, I love that everyone has friends in AEW and everyone's in their little groups. It's cool. But one of the things that like it limits you on is being able to do stuff like this. I still want to get these weird tags, like not every tag team needs to have a reason being associated. Just throw a graphic up sometimes. I'm for it. So this is good shit.
What's good shit? Ayo, do you enjoy seeing Darby and Orange tag together?
Bro, this fucking Mogul Embassy stable, bro. It's a lot of money to be made here, Monty, and you're just gonna have to cry for years and years and years while they take over AEW. I've been waiting, nigga. I tried to convince myself that I was gonna work out with fucking Trench, whatever that meth head's name is, and Parker Boudreaux. I was just like, yo, fuck, let's just skip the whole stable thing. You sort of be alright on his own. They got him some real heaters now, bro. Real heaters that can actually work. You put them on a match graphic, people are gonna be excited in the future and shit. They could realistically win gold one day, maybe, if they keep getting better, bro. I've been a fan of Khan for a while, with like Shane Taylor promotions and shit. Not so much Shane Taylor, but Khan was always doing his thing. I saw Toa Leona the first time on Dark. I'm not sure if it was that FTR match Joe was talking about. I just remember seeing him because he was on Dark, and then the next week he was going like viral for bench pressing 600 pounds. And I was like, oh, I just saw this motherfucker wrestle. And then, so, me, I'm a what did Monty used to call me, like a gym pervert or some shit, iron pervert. So I see something like that, it pops me, bro. So I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited for Mogul Embassy and shit, bro. We're gonna take over AEW. Monty's just gonna have to cry.
Hey, yo, did you see Prince Nana look at Swerve like all scared, like Heyman does to Roman when his guys got pinned?
Oh yeah, usually he didn't know what he was gonna do next and shit.
Yeah, his eyes were all like.
He's
open,
so
like,
good.
I
love
Prince Nana. I'm so happy he's on TV, bro.
Me too.
Look, I need to talk to somebody in that group to get to get Brian Cage a ski mask with a mohawk hole down the back.
Well,
You gotta throw that ski mask on, bro. I don't know what his hesitation is. Paul Heyman,
no,
that Manager of the Year award, you bottled it, bro. It's going to Callis, and Nana might get second. He gets enough screen time. It's over.
God, it would be awesome if they were able to tweet the
Prince Nana.
Manager of the Year, Prince Nana.
I'd pop huge.
Yeah, me too.
All right, next up on Dynamite, we had a MJF promo, which it was only a short one, and I thought it was good. MJF in his pre-tapes, this was like a pre-tape done after the Fatal 4-Way on the pay-per-view. And, and he's just bragging and he's saying no one's on his level. He's the best in the world. Like I said, it was short, sweet. Always good when it's a pre-tape with MJF. It's always good when he gets to the point, man.
You didn't miss the bidding war 2024 stick. You weren't yearning for it.
Well, yeah.
You weren't waiting for a Nick Khan reference.
See, there was none of that. Straight to the point, putting himself over and talking like the champ. Talking like a heel champ. So that was a good bit of TV. Right, next up we had a segment with Hawk, who was interrupted by the LFI, who was then attacked by the LFI, and then he was saved by Jungle Boy Jack Perry, which looked like, what did they call them? Jungle Hook or some shit, Reuniting them. They'll probably have a few tags, and he'll give Jack Perry something to do.
Jungle Boy's gonna brain hook with that chair one day.
Man.
Yeah, I think they intended for you to wonder that because when Jack got in the ring, Hook turned his back. And
Jack took half a step towards him.
Right. Yeah. And I think the way they cut, they kind of look because I think we were supposed to wonder that for a second. I'm almost certain of it. So yeah, I think that's where we're headed here too. We may be headed to that Roosh direction.
This is where I said that where Jack Perry joins LFI, and then he becomes Jack Perro. So then this is
just Jack Dog.
And funny.
But it did seem like they were kind of signaling to get you to think about it at least.
He's doing a Christian cosplay. It's very funny.
I just hope that it's to do the Jungle Hook thing, and that is the plan of eventually doing the turn and stuff. I just hope that they give good reason for it, and it's not just this is what Jack Perry does now, It's just.
I mean, they told the story in the match where it was just if Jack Perry cheated, he might have won. He might be. Yeah. We're not even cheating because it was a multi-man match, but if he did the dishonorable thing and domed MJF or whoever was in the ring with the belt, he might have been champion today, but he didn't. He played by the rules and it didn't get him anywhere. So he could play off of that.
Yeah, 100%. He would have to be put into a kind of similar situation again. Obviously, that situation involved the world title. You know what I mean? This one would be the FTW title, so it would be a bit different.
The real world title.
It does kind of feel like they're telling the story with Jack Perry, what they could have done with Hangman if they decided to turn him heel last year after Double or Nothing. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see the other side of that coin of what could have happened if Hangman had turned heel at the time, and they're turning it with Jack Perry, which I think is going to be good. I am excited. Now that I've accepted the idea that he's going to be a heel, I'm on board with it. It's going to be good. I am excited.
I think it's I think it's a thing that's very much worth trying with a young guy like him who's got a long way to go, and even if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to something different, right? And that's kind of the beauty of it. The one thing I would say is I am very intrigued as to how he'll work inside the ropes as a heel. I don't necessarily know what that's going to look like. He may be best served, honestly, with his frame to just go full chicken shit heel, because the alternatives are I don't know if we want to see Jack Perry taking an 8-minute heat segment on someone, I mean, I don't know. No, I'm not sure what the best play is there. So that's the only thing I'm intrigued by.
I definitely do have my concerns with a heel Jack Perry, but I'm open-minded. I'm open-minded, and like Joe said, which is very important to point out, that he's so young that if it fucking doesn't work, he's still a very talented wrestler, and you can just switch course again. So, while he's still young and growing as a wrestler, these are the times where you try these things. So, but like I said, I do have my concerns that I'm interested about and seeing how it all plays out. Manny, are you interested in a?
Yeah, bro.
Look,
I'll give him a little taper. I'll have his long black pants with lightning on it, have him a beer, maybe not call him Jack Perro or something. Maybe Hollywood Pero, just like a Hollywood dog. He just has his glasses. He wrestles like Roosh.
It's crazy that Manny conceded on the new name, but kept the Pero part.
I think, to go back to Joe's point, I think the idea of you having to like wrestle like a heel is kind of outdated in 2023. Like, we just saw the Young Bucks, right? Getting all their flips and quote-unquote gymnastic and trampoline bullshit in, and getting booed out the fucking building. All they really stopped doing was the Meltzer driver. They just swapped it out for the BTE trigger. But they were still getting all this shit in. And people, there was no The Elite chance for 2 years. They were getting booed regularly. Fans were like, these are the heels, these are the bad guys. We don't care what cool shit they do. We're going to pop for it, then we're right back to booing them. So if you just get like your character work down, it's not like these are the greatest promos of all time in the Young Bucks, but they knew how to like get heat from the crowds in other ways instead of just laying in like chin locks and shit. Because I'm right there with you, Joe. I'm not trying to see a Jungle Boy 8-minute heat. I'm not trying to see an 8-minute heat segment from anyone, honestly. Like, I'm not like it's no, bro, no.
I think you're absolutely right, but the Young Bucks are like incredible at pairing their flips with like a personality quirk that makes people want to boo them.
Fuck these guys.
Like, and they're so versatile. Like, we've talked about this match the last couple of weeks, but the match they with Eddie and Moxley, they basically wear that as like an old school heel tag.
Yeah.
Matt does the Super Dragon spot, and like, so I agree with you, but I think whenever we go down the road of like, well, the Bucks did it, it's like, fuck, man, I don't know if Jack Perry's got the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if Jack, until we see it, we don't know, right? Hopefully it works out. But I just don't know if he's going to have a dynamic enough personality to do the moves and be where he needs to be, like, because the Bucks have so many quirks to their game. Like, it'll be interesting. We'll see.
Well, let me pitch you another idea for Jack Perry. He comes out with a fake Hollywood star. He comes out with the ring and he just uses it as a weapon.
Wow.
Manny, what?
Hey, say that again, because I'm genuinely going to always get.
Oh, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So man, you want him to go over there with a shovel, right? And just pick off like his dad's star, maybe, and just walk around and just beat the shit out of people with it.
Okay, I didn't think about the dad part, but that's awesome. What you do? So when you get since none of you guys ever seen the YouTube videos like I have, when you get a Hollywood Walk of Star or whatever, you get a plaque with the star on it. So he can use that plaque as a weapon to start hitting people, and you just be like, "You got Hollywood," and there you go, and just.
Manny's dog in the background, so popping me. As he was trying to explain this terrible Jack Perry speech, his dog just like clawing at him and stuff.
It's never good when you make a pitch and immediately your hands go like this. Like,
bang, man. I'm just shooting the shit over here.
I'm sure TK will be in your DMs trying to get all your Jack Perry pictures anyway. All right, next up on Dynamite, we had a Tony Storm promo, and she's there with the Outcast, and she's just kind of like, I'm here, I'm champ, I'm the shit. And it's just kind of one of those promos, two-time Tony. I believe she's the only women's champion to do so.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah, man, it'd be interesting to see where this goes. Of course, Outcast is a very heavily featured and pushed group at the moment, so it makes sense for someone in that group to be world champion when the current champion goes down injured. Hopefully, Jamie's back sooner rather than later. Hopefully, we're all praying that she makes it to Wembley. And, yeah, man, shout out Toni Storm. She's definitely not a bad choice whatsoever to put the world title on for now, Any thoughts on Tony as champ, anyone?
I think
I'm here for it.
It's a steady choice, right? Like, we saw what she did in ring last time. I thought another promo segment there wasn't an immediate interruption. Nice, more pay-per-view follow-up again. Like there was a really nice feel to this show, and it didn't feel like Tony just throwing shit at us. A lot happened without it being dizzying. This is an example. I'm glad Tony got a chance to speak. I'm glad it was actually Tony doing the promo too. Who, in the last few weeks, Tony has shown a genuine. She seems interested in doing these promos, which wasn't always the case, honestly. So I liked this for what it was.
Better fucking Manny or River.
I'll say Manny because at least Manny will pop me.
Look, man, I understand we all kick the shit out of Ibu's booking, but There is no way Hooper is getting that pencil. He is dangerous.
Look, I wouldn't book the Jack Perry stuff. But if you want to watch Pride and Ring of Honor, like have a love child, I'm your man. That's what I would book.
Wait, so are you officially banning the Jack Perro idea?
Well, for my promotion.
All right.
Many try to marry like mid-2000s Ring of Honor with that production level, with fucking Pride Fighting Championships, the greatest pageantry in the history of combat. That is peak Hooper right there. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. He's a big sports fan. No Hooper, you know. Combat
I might
sports.
be in it.
He loves it all, you know.
Yeah. You might convince me.
Cool. Amazing. Appreciate it, man. Couple super chats. Keep those coming. Beautiful stuff, man, as always. Shout out Sakuraba, the Gracie killer. Alright, couple super chats. Like the video, please, people. We've had like consistently over 150 people. I think we've got close to 200 people in the stream. Live viewers. Manny's dog's here, you know. We're very blessed right now. AO's popped in. It's not his usual Thursday slot. You know, we're very blessed today on this Thursday. So hit that like button, man. We're on about 50 likes at the minute. I want us to finish the video on like 100. You know, there's enough of you in here. So hit the button, man. Hit the like button. Appreciate you as always. Koi Starlings, $4.99. I think Swerve wins when Nick Wayne comes in. They have a built-in feud.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Obviously, when Nick Wayne comes in, that will be definitely like one of the first people to go to with him. I think because I think they'll bring him in like very like prominent. Like I don't think they'll just throw him on the roster sort of thing. You know, like I think they'll position him as like this prodigy and stuff. I think it would be kind of a missed opportunity if they didn't. So yeah, Swerve would be good in one of his first feuds, of course.
Did any of y'all see that Defy match?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing, bro.
Incredible.
It's
They
great
have a really
storytelling. His mom, when he's beating the shit out of Nick Wayne in front of his mom. His mom's like, "Oh, please!" He's like, "Shut up, bitch!" Just keep. It is so good, bro.
Swerve's a monster as a heel. He's this match next week. Like we talked about our prediction for it, but the actual match itself is going to be incredible. Like Swerve's going to be such a piece of shit in that match. I'm really excited for it. You also, in terms of Nick Wayne, you have the baked in Samoa Joe program from that time that Joe.
He just choked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So you can get a 6-minute match out of that for one of your TV shows, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. All for it.
There's a lot they can do.
There is. Showtime Spurs, $5. Let Manny cook would be a perfect first loss for Hook and would instantly make Rouge in AEW. Who has more FTW attitude than Rouge? Manny, you've got a fan. You know?
Nobody.
Oh my god, that was aggressive. If you throw that match graphic up, there's no way I'm going to do anything but pop. I think it'd be very bold, but that doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. Maybe the hoop belt was on.
Yeah, Joe's concerns are the only concerns that I'd have.
I enjoy the match.
Rouge is Rouge is a character, man. I'll leave it at that. And if you give him the young, you know, baby face talk, you know, it could be interesting.
Thus far, all of his longer matches have been with All Ego Ethan Page, who is going to wrestle you a certain way. And Rouge would wrestle you a very different way than All Ego Ethan Page. And that's all. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be a good idea. It may fucking rule. It probably would. But
yeah, it could. AO has been called out by High Maiden with $2, and he says, I would beat AO in a fight. Well,
I'm a pacifist. I don't fight.
There you have it, you know. There you have it. Yeah, man.
I got a concealed carry license. I'll shoot you, nigga.
I was waiting for something. You know?
we all laid out for like a moment of silence. Wanted to see what you would say.
Just kidding. I'm not kidding about the concealed carry license part. But shout out to Aiden.
Be packing, bro.
I don't want to fight you, bro.
It is what it is, bro.
Greek Foley, $4.99. Appreciate you as always. Most of the names linked to Collision so far are heels. What other faces do you think will be on the show? Also, what other women than Rosa?
Oh, brother. I just so many people that should be over at Collision. There's just, Brian Pillman
He's on the
Jr.
AO list.
Brian Pillman Jr. would make waves over there. Iron Savages formerly known as Bear Country. Oh my God! Send them over there with that Flex Hogan guy, whatever his name is. It's just there's so much money to be had. Alan Angels, he's still looking for a contract. Throw him on Collision. Like, what are we doing here? Let's make some money.
It feels like Darby might be on Collision.
Oh no! Come on. Let's relax. Let's
on your list. You know?
Let's all calm down here.
We just put him alongside Pillman Jr. and Alan Angels and all the other great names. It feels like Darby may be on there quite a bit.
Yeah, because I mean, when you think Alan Angels, when you think Pillman Jr., Iron Savages, Darby's definitely just the next natural selection in that list.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to push him out. I just give us a little Darby and we'll. We'll figure it out.
I don't even know if Rosa's even gonna be there. Isn't she still hurt?
Yeah, she's talking about she needs surgery and shit, bro.
It is a really good question. Like, genuinely,
where's Serena Deeb, guys?
Where is Serena Deeb?
These are the questions. Charlie, we don't know. Nobody asked the questions. Like, nobody asked the questions about Todd Sinclair.
The last time I saw Serena Deeb, she confronted Queen Aminata at the last Terminus show. Wow. And then Terminus got canceled because you guys kept cyberbullying Jonathan Gresham.
Well, hold on.
Because you specifically, Monty, kept cyberbullying Jonathan Gresham. Terminus is over.
No, man. That's shout out Jonathan Gresham.
I'm being real serious, guys. I need to know where Deeb is, man. Everybody's so vague about her. I need to know the answers.
I'm sure there's a story there, and that's why people are vague about her. But
hopefully everything's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully she's okay. Alright. Hi, I'm Aiden. He's back again, and he says true. Of course, directed to AR, $2. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. But yeah, people keep the super chats coming, keep the likes coming in, and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Back to Dynamite. Chris Statlander, she returns to AEW Dynamite for the first time in way too long. And she makes her first entrance as TBS champion, which she just won off Jay Cargill, breaking her streak. And first defense versus Nyla Rose. And I thought this was nice. I thought this was better than the last match that they had, definitely. And a nice start. Chris Statlander's first proper match. The match with Jade was literally 40 seconds or something, so but yeah, I thought Chris did what she needed to do here. Nyla, as always, she's pretty consistent in these roles, and good bit of business. I know I say that a lot, probably a bit of a cliche on this channel at this point, but that's what I thought it was. Charlie, was you a big fan of this one?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good time. It was a nice callback to like you said, the previous match. When Nyla was champion, I'm pretty sure Chris was her first challenger. So having Nyla be Chris's first challenger now that Chris is champion, it was a nice little callback. I'm really happy for Chris Statlander, man, that she's back and she's in this position. I don't like to say it's what she deserves, but she was working towards it for so long, and then getting injured when she did, it was so unfortunate. But I'm excited to have her back, and she's going to be a work rate champion. It's going to be great. And the fact that she can still hit that 450 with two bionic knees is kind of crazy.
God. I just ripped my shirt off when I saw that.
The AO shirt disintegrated.
Oh my God.
Turned to dust.
Because Monty, what do I say? What do I tell you when a match is boring as fuck? I say do a flip, nigga. Not say that this match is boring, but I just love flips, bro. And it's not a lot of women out here on national television doing 450 splashes. It's Stat, it's Bianca Belair, it's who else? Is that it?
It may be, yeah.
He said this match was boring.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said when the match is boring, I tell Monty, I'm like, yo, do a flip, nigga, because I love flips, bro. I can't be bored watching flips unless it's Blake Christian or something. But anyway. But two bionic knees, just pulling out a 450 splash, showing her power, showing her athleticism. Stat is an amazing wrestler, and I hope that she can stay healthy for a long, long time because I love watching her wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hooper, you seem to attack AO then when you thought he called the match.
Yeah, well,
what did you think of the match?
It was good.
You did it again. You keep doing
it. It was a good match. What do you want me to say? It was a good match.
Hooper, again, folks, there's nothing that's happening on this show. It's a trend that I pointed out last week, and Manny said, "Oh, he refuted these claims." Remember this, Monty? I said, whether you like or dislike the women's match on the television show, you always answer it in the tone you don't use for any other segment on the show. I said, Manny, you got to beat these allegations, brother. It's time.
It was a good match.
And
Misogynist Manny?
Look at the shrug. You see what I'm talking about here, right? There's a shrug.
This is nasty.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. You know, come on, get some energy, man. He just fired up about this thing. This is a good damn match. This is what you should say, man. He said it was damn good. Nyla Rose has come an awful long way. She worked the leg with passion and vigor. Statlander, she looked like she hadn't missed a beat. She was on point. That's what I'm looking for, Manny. Come on, give me some color, Hooper. Go away. Here we go. Come on.
To be fair, I wasn't really watching the match to the end where they hit the 450.
Wait, hold up. So, after accusing AO of being bored until the 450, you just said you wasn't watching until the 450.
Nasty. In all seriousness, though, like as much as I meme about Collision, right, and how I'm not watching or whatever, I am really happy for the talent because people like Nyla Rose, who should have a more prominent position on television, especially with how much she did for the division in the beginning, whether you think she was any good or not, and just improved vastly since then. She should be on TV way more instead of just all right, we need a monster of the week, quote unquote, for the champ. Throw Nyla at him, and then all right, Nyla, it's back to YouTube for you and shit.
Yeah, it's definitely good to. It's opportunities, man. More TV times, more opportunities. It's pretty simple, you know. So hopefully, time is just used productively in showcasing talent that don't get it other places, you know. Because that roster's deep, bro. That roster's so deep. Then when you throw in the Ring of Honor guys as well, you really, you know, you've got yourself almost a happy problem of too much talent, you know. I trust the process.
Shout out, shout out to Willow and Emmy because that match is gonna be good.
I booked that match. Y'all saw the tweets.
You heard it here first. All right, trust the process. 34,499. Appreciate you as always. I know about to be the Westbrook eating on the bench gif, watching Mogul Embassy and Hobbs on Collision.
I'll get really spiteful if this is what happens. I'll get really spiteful.
Yeah, bro. Hobbs is collision bound.
Yeah, Hobbs is already collision bound. I've already partially lost.
Do you genuinely? You know that question about the babyface situation. Just have Hobbs kill QTV and be a babyface. You know, that'd be cool. Tell his story through that lens rather than the Book of Hobbs, where he has a literal book. Like, make him a babyface. Fuck it.
I'll never forget when he first came out with the literal book. And all
bro, Monty was dumbfounded. He came to the chat. I was out. I wasn't watching Rampage. He's like, Hobbs has walked out with a literal bloody book of Hobbs. I was like, what?
It was very WCW. Though.
What do you think happened? They just watched Death Note or something that weekend. They're like, bro, I need to come out with this.
Bro, who thought this was a good idea?
Sanjay Dutt.
QT Marshall. Yeah.
I want to say something about this super chat. Ayo's gonna be Westbrook eating on the bench, and I'm gonna be Jameis Winston eating that W when.
Oh my god!
I'm seeing Hobbs on Collision. That's all I'm gonna say. I would do it, but I don't want. That's crazy. I can't do that on camera.
Swerve is an elite guy, so I'm gonna trust that the right thing is done here.
Trust the process.
I'm gonna trust that the right thing is done.
Excuse the pull. Yo, mate, $5. What's your guys' opinion on the soft brand split between Collision and what it might bring? I think it's meant to say. Yeah, I'm warming. I warm to it. I warm to the idea of brand splits. You know, roster splits, whatever you want to call it. It's just about, you know. I've said it many times over the past couple of months when these news, rumours, reports and that started coming around about Collision, about how, you know, WWE have done certain things over the past 20 years and it puts a bad taste in our mouths. Certain booking tropes and things that even happen in matches and stuff. Doing a split roster is obviously, that's the only thing that, you know, a lot of us fans, it's the only promotion that we've seen not do it, you know, and there's been a lot of times when it hasn't been great, especially in the recent decade, you know. But, you know, there has been moments in WWE's history over the past 25 years where they managed to find a nice balance and do it well. I do think there is massive opportunity to do a roster split well and productively and get a lot out of all of your talent, you know, and giving each talent their own space to breathe and having two shows that feel different but have different identities and all these things, you know. There's definitely the pros to it. So I'm very warm to the idea. I just kind of waffled on a little bit. Charlie, I'll throw it to you next.
I'm excited for the talent. Like I was saying, like people are going to get more opportunities off the back of it. Like with there being a soft brand split. I don't know what it's going to look like in AEW, so I don't really have an opinion either way right now. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of it in WWE, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just kind of anticipating it. I don't really have an opinion either way right now.
Fair. It's hard, isn't it, until we actually see how AEW, Tony Khan, CM Punk, whoever else is involved with Bryan Danielson, whoever else is involved with Collision Creative, like how they actually pull it off. Because are they going to do the shitty WWE brand split, or are they going to do like a, you know, reminiscent of the times when they've done it good, you know, or will they do something completely new, which is either good or WrestleCraft, you know? We don't know. So, Colbert, you got any optimism for the roster split? Oh,
I do. Manny. Sorry, Manny, go on. You seem fired up. Go for it.
All I'm going to say is, remember SmackDown 6, the Collision 6. That's all I'm going to say.
Just Ryan Nemeth. Just fucking Pretty Peter Avalon.
Ryan Nemeth brings his BT bit to Collision.
Give him 20 minutes every week. Give him 2 full quarters. Give him 30 minutes.
I don't love the reason for this particular brand split because the reason is fucking hilarious, but it's not ideal. But I do actually think, in terms of the timing of where AEW is currently at, I actually think it would be beneficial. Like, there are so many guys who feel kind of stalled because there's not enough spots. Like, there can't be, right? The roster's huge. We like so many of the guys, want to see more of them. It's just an opportunity thing. I think it could be a game changer for a lot. Like, again, Hobbs came up a minute ago. I legitimately believe it could be a game changer for that guy. I think it could be transformative for him.
Yeah.
And I hope so, because there's a lot of talent who's great. And I think AEW knows how good these talent, individuals are. But there are only so many spots, and this kind of doubles that in a lot of ways. So I think it's going to be positive for sure.
Ayo, have you got any thoughts on the roster split that aren't spiteful?
You know me, I just straight off the cuff, never spiteful, always factual. Facts always feelings, over feelings is a term that I coined, created, and definitely didn't get from Ben Shapiro. I don't think brand splits are inherently bad. I just think that they're always pulled off terribly. I think it could be good. I don't know, bro. It's just...
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
I don't know, but then there's also... Remember back in the day when Rampage was just starting, you couldn't always get everybody on Dynamite, but they'd have like an angle, maybe like a 30-second beatdown. And he was like, you know what, fuck you, bro. I want a match this Friday on Rampage. Like, with the brand split, I guess that's just not going to happen in AEW, which I think would be a good thing, but I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. Just keep all my favorite wrestlers on Dynamite.
I hear you. Trust the Process 34, appreciate you again, as always. The Hooper versus the Veteran all-in weekend. Q-Limp Biscuit my way.
Look, folks. See the young man on the screen there in the corner, Manny the Hooper.
Oh, shoots the Veteran. Oh, okay, I was confused about that.
Yes. Oh no, it's not quite as strong in my branding as Hooper is for you. My out on Twitter is not Joe the Veteran, unfortunately. Folks, here's the deal. That's my protege. It's the young lion. I've watched Manny go from a youngster with a bad microphone, looking very seriously down the camera, and doing his thing. And now look at him; he's one of the great personalities in our sport. I've watched, but the key is you don't stop there, right, Manny? You got to keep expanding your game, adding moves. And when I'm noticing, when I notice an issue, I call you out on it live in the air like a real pro would. I call you out on it. I say, Manny, deal with this in front of 150 people. We'll see what you do next week. That's right, man. Manny, do you have any thoughts on my take on this, or do you want to fight me instead at all-in weekend?
No, right now I'm at my Padawan stage, and Joe's my Jedi Master. So this is learning right here.
Monty, you've said it, right? You've credited me with this, and you've paid me a lot of money for it. It was Manny's excursion to Late Night Grin where he became.
Oh, it was something.
Yeah, he transformed.
He came back with a gimmick. He was.
Yeah, we put a gimmick on him.
Well, they told me we're behind a paywall, so then I just let loose on them behind a paywall.
Yeah, I'm not taking credit for Manny. I'm just saying thank me. That's what I'm saying.
And then now that
I just
now I forget that we're not behind a paywall sometimes, and I just talk.
I've noticed, yeah.
Mm.
It is what
We
it
all
is, man.
notice.
Fuck it, bro.
Fuck it, man. It is what it is.
Click Foley 4.99. Appreciate you. What happens first? Punk and Elite have a program, or Punk flames out again and leaves the company?
The latter.
Who knows?
The latter.
Yeah, the latter for sure. We got like 3 months.
And I honestly don't even believe that Punk and the Elite will just never happen if Punk somehow acts sane and stays healthy for the next 5 years. But Punk's acting sane and staying healthy for the next 5 years isn't happening. So
this situation, this solution that they've come up with, I'll be very impressed if it's a long-term solution. I'll put it I'll be very impressed. I don't buy it personally. We'll see.
Alfred 4.99.
This is fucking shit, bro. This is a
As
throwback.
51% owner of the pro-life company known as WrestlePurists, I want to say good work to all of you, except Joe. Joe, you want a paycheck, you got a flex. That's one of the craziest super chats we've
I haven't done
had
my
tonight.
top button tonight. Is that not enough?
We don't like to get into politics here, even though I just shouted out Ben Shapiro. But we definitely
Me and Joe just looked at the ground.
It is very unfortunate.
I can only speak for myself, but I am very much pro-choice.
Yes, absolutely.
Incredible you followed the Shapiros. Never, just leave that there.
All money's green money.
Hold on, what just happened then?
Money just saying sound bites of things. Matchline 84, 199. Thoughts on recent Fight Forever footage. Yeah, man, I want to talk about it a little bit, to be fair. It looks fun, man. You know,
yeah, that game looks fun as hell, bro.
Get on your skateboard and shit. You can do tricks. I've seen you can unlock a horse. What other stuff have people seen? You know,
I'm gonna hit a 630 splash with that horse.
Wait, there's a horse in that game?
Yeah,
there's a horse that you can unlock. There's also
Stadium Stampede or something.
Yeah. There's also they've got like the New Japan turnbuckle pads. Like when you want to design your arena and your ring and stuff like.
Oh my god!
So there's a lot of cool little quirks in it, you know. And as we've said many times on these podcasts, it's not the most visually stunning, you know. And it was never kind of meant to be. And there was times where, in some of the footage that got released, it looked like a little bit glitchy and quite shitty, you know. But these most recent clips that we've been seeing and people playing the game, it looks like a lot of fun, man. You know.
All I hope is that they add old I hope they add Ring of Honor wrestlers and vintage Ring of Honor wrestlers.
No. Fellas, I have bad news regarding house rules. They've booked a match I want to see. This is the worst case scenario. Dax Harwood, Daniel Garcia on the fucking house rules. Bro. We need a Coliseum video release. Someone get a camera in that place, please. We need it. I need footage.
DG should definitely be able to carry him to something watchable.
I'm not responding to that. I'm just saying I need footage.
Yeah, we need footage. We're putting a word out there.
Video.
What city is it in, John?
Send over those Periscope links.
Tupelo, Mississippi. I'm relying on you to get me a camera footage.
Yeah, man. We need those people in Mississippi.
I'm sorry, but that was very upsetting news. But continue.
I might have a mutual going. I'll message. I'll send some
get onto it,
I'm
John.
willing to reimburse them for a motion picture quality.
Sorry, you have a friend in Tupelo, Mississippi, out of all places.
Yes, I think.
That's very insulting.
This is Charlie we're dealing with, man. This is you gotta know the professional that you're dealing with here, you know. A real networker, you know. Alright,
But Fight Forever, I'm excited about the fact that it can be it's intergender as well. You can.
Mate, we lost you. Charlie.
Oh no, we lost Chuck.
God, this show
really went really quiet.
This show's fucked.
Oh, here you again.
You're back.
Okay, Charlie, try that again.
All the belts are intergender, so you can put them on anyone, which I'm really excited about. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, people are gonna have a lot of fun with that. You know,
You're going to be tag champions.
Did you see the thing where people were freaking out because I think there's other when you look at the AEW roster, there's also others like other rosters. I think people are predicting there's gonna be other rosters you can use or whatever like that.
Yeah, because it was a little section thing that looks like you could change the company roster.
Look, I was very transparent about this deal with Fight Forever. If Eddie Kingston was in the game, I was going to buy it. I questioned that choice when I saw what he looked like last week, but then they released the video and
They fixed him.
Today, I saw they're doing this the revival DLC they're calling it, which is very subtle. I appreciate that. Immediate Elite Edition purchase for a game I'm going to play twice because that is the kind of person I am. Will regret that purchase for the rest of my life most likely, but these are the games we play, folks. You have to react on impulse. You have to do these things, you know. So I'll fire it up. I'll play Dustin versus Eddie. I'll put it away. The FTR will be added. I'll do something with them, and that'll be, probably call it a day from there. But as long as I have a good time with those two, I suppose.
Worth it, you know.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, man, we're going to be starting the Twitch stream, you know.
Oh no. Oh no.
We're gonna get AO on Twitch playing Fight Forever, you know.
I'm gonna be there.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna be there.
Some bad news just came out, man.
Oh no.
I hope it's not more house show news. I think we've
No.
had enough breaking house show news on the show.
All I'm gonna say, man, this is for NBA people, man. John Moran is cooked, bro.
Oh no! What happened?
Oh no!
What happened?
I posted it in there. I get here. Let's see. I just got rid of it. He says Adam Silver said they uncovered a fair amount of additional information. We probably won't have brought it to a head. I mean, it's in the private chat, but whatever. Adam Silver just made it seem like they're coming for him. They found more info and he might be cooked. So, but they're not going to announce anything in the middle.
Paraphrasing, they're not announcing anything to the end of this series because it's going to be a very, very, very big announcement. Apparently, you know, I'm very much on the side of John Morant. He's a fucking idiot and should have never put himself in this position. But then it's just like you see all these four. There's like 2 or 3 right-wing NBA players that just have like entire gun safes, just had hunting rifles, had semi-automatics and shit. Were posting onto Instagram back in the day, back when Instagram looked like shit. Nobody made a peep, bro. So you know. Josh shouldn't have done what he did, but the double standard is nasty. Yeah,
man. He's definitely been an interesting one to follow what's been going on, especially as an outsider who's like, you know, I've picked my team this season in this playoff series. You know,
It's unfortunate.
It's not, man. Go Heat. You know, kicks off tonight. Bringing it home, bro. Bringing it home. Jimmy Butler. He's gonna realize his dream. You know, he's gonna lead us to the promised land, you know. But yeah, I mean, everything I hear about John Morant's just, you know, he's great, but he's a fucking idiot, you know.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe you should try wrestling.
I don't think there's. I think he has a better chance in the NBA if he was in wrestling.
What I was going to say about Stat versus 9, it looked like they were going to set up a Taya Valkyrie match, which is, you know.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to turn, right? It's going to be a bit.
Wait, Taya? Taya was there too?
Taya was watching on the screen. It feels like they're going to do one of those heel turns where it's like, you know, she kind of piggybacked off what she did. And it's fine. It'll be okay.
Bro, how's she getting another TBS title match just because she's baddie now?
I honestly don't know, but I will say I thought she was like pretty good on the pay-per-view, so I'm willing to let it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any interest in that match, but I actually thought they over-delivered like pretty substantially. So fuck it.
I'm not upset that she's not getting just shuffled off into the broom closet now that they've signed her and used her for a program. She's like, oh, Taya, thanks. See you in 3 months.
Well, to be fair, the TBS title, you know, division is just Taya and Jade's gone now, so you got to add more people to it. So until then, it's just going to be matches of Chris Antler and Taya Valkyrie.
Layla Hirsch is on her way back.
Oh.
She didn't turn up yesterday, but she's
Bro, run back that Statling the Red Velvet program.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I need that Ruby match as well.
They had,
I think
they
I
had
talked about
real
it
chemistry.
Yeah, they did.
Well, next up on Dynamite, there was some announcements for Friday's Rampage, and I think TK has been listening to the people. I know he fucking nearly had a heart attack when I saw I was getting hit with these graphics for Friday Night Rampage, brother. All right, just to go through them real quick, we got a triple threat, which was Dralistico versus Vikingo versus Commander. We also are getting Willow Nightingale versus Emi Sakura. We're also getting Zack Sabre Jr. versus Action Andretti. And we're also getting Shibata versus Lee Moriarty. So a very, very, very stacked Rampage. And in comparison to what they've been doing in recent months, this is like WrestleMania, you know? This is Rampage is back, it seems. For this week anyway, you know.
Bro, that Double or Nothing, like just the reaction people that Double or Nothing, it got to TK, bro. For him to do this, like he's just like, I gotta do something and fast.
Yeah.
You look, man. People were complaining earlier that Mexicans lose all the time, luchadors. Look, guess what, guys? We're gonna win one. Someone's gonna win them on Friday, so count our blessings. It's probably gonna be Vikingo.
Good shit.
Yeah, no. Hulbert, you got any thoughts on Rampage resurrecting from the flames?
Awesome, man. It's a perfect kind of lineup for Rampage because it's like the sort of matchups that pop people that would have any interest in such a matter at this point also, right? Like it's a great lineup, but it's also the exact kind of wrestling that the sickos who want Rampage to be good want, myself included. So I'll be tuned in for sure. It's a really cool selection of matches. Last night we had a conversation about like if nothing else make Rampage the Emi Sakura show, which glad to see release making some progress on that front. But yeah, it's an all-star lineup, like genuinely. It's a collection of some really cool talent. So I'm fired up for it.
It's like this could be a Dynamite card, but it's just a Rampage. It's very strange.
It does rule that it's like it's Championship Friday, right? Is what they call it. Yeah. And the belts are New Japan TV, Ring of Honor Pure, New Japan Strong Women's, and what's the fourth?
Triple A Mega Champion.
It is like awesome that's the like again. I understand some people would say what I just said as like criticism. To me, that is the realest of grounds possible.
It's one of the best things about AEW, bro.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of the things that makes it cool. It's a major league promotion that's willing to do weird shit like that on occasion. Like it's tremendous.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. Hopefully it's a great episode. I'm sure it'll deliver. It'd be very tough for them not to deliver, you know, with those 4 matches on the card on a 1 hour show, you know.
People that were there said it was a fantastic show. And they said Emmy and Willow just fucking tore the house down and shit.
I don't trust live reports anymore after Murph. So.
Yeah, what was Murph cooking, bro? What was Murph cooking?
He's just biased, man. He can't watch an Adam Cole match. And
what was it? It was Adam Cole versus Ishii, and he was like, match of the year contender. One of the best Ishii matches I've ever seen. Some shit like that. And it was a perfectly fine match, bro. But it was literally just a perfectly fine match.
It was like Cole just plugged Ishii into like his match, and it was just it was a match, right? Yeah, it was funny. That was also the show with Eddie and Garcia where like someone told Dave they cut stuff from it, and Dave was like, they actually went 35 minutes and they cut, and the actual story was they cut out like 90 seconds of wrestling, and Dave he Daved it, bro. He said, "Fuck it."
I actually had no clue that was the case, Joe. Like this whole time, I just assumed they cut 3 hours out of their match.
See, that was the report, right? Was Dave was like, they actually went 20 minutes. And it was like, well, hold on. What? And then I believe someone corrected it. Was like, no, it's about 90 seconds, 2 minutes out of the match, which is fucking, that is awesome. Like the idea of that is.
So that whole thing about wrestlers getting upset that their matches were getting chopped and screwed was just a fabrication.
I could be wrong in terms of the overall, but my understanding is the Eddie match was like 13 and they cut it to 11 or some shit.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Never changed, Dave.
I never understood that was a 4-match card. Why would they have ever gone that long anyway?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Manny was gonna say that.
All I'm gonna say is, if Adam Cole from last night wrestled Ishii, we'll be singing a different tune, you know. So there you go.
Well, yeah, let's get to it, man. That is what is next up. The main event, which was Chris Jericho and Saraya versus Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I think it's pretty safe to say, amongst the the hardcores, the nerds, the people like ourselves. After the reaction we kind of give the pay-per-view match between Jericho and Cole, I think it's pretty safe to say that we wasn't exactly the most optimistic and excited for this pairing, last night, but they absolutely, they delivered, man. It was a really good main event. Really felt like a cool main event tag match of of yesteryear at times. It was good stuff, man. My timeline was literally just filled with this the same tweet. This was so much better.
This is so much better than Sunday.
This is so much better than the pay-per-view match. Why couldn't they have done this on Sunday? So this, judging off that, this was a huge hit. Charlie, what did you think?
I thought it was good. Britt Baker is always so much better in tag matches than she is in singles matches. And her and Adam Cole, obviously, they have so much on-screen chemistry anyways. And I think, the bits with Britt and Jericho going back and forth made me laugh so much. They were just going at each other the entire time. But I thought it was a good time. Definitely better than Sunday, but that's been said so many times at this point. But yeah, I had a good time with it. It was a good main event. I wasn't sure about it main eventing because I was like, is this going to be what they want it to be? But they delivered.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. We hilariously missed it off the pre-show yesterday, but completely by accident. But I've realised as soon as we got off the air, I messaged Joe within 2 minutes. Fuck.
I'm actually glad though because
you might have got spiteful.
Yeah. And the match was fun. It would have made us look dumb, So
we would have looked dumb as hell, bro.
This was a good. You could tell immediately. Jericho and Cole knew how bad that match was on Sunday because they were bringing it from the bell. And I thought this was a good time. With Britt and Saraya, it's never going to be, your kind of high-speed affair. It's not the most dynamic work. But I did think Saraya as a heel, and this has been kind of a trend, I do think she does a good job with the character part of the game, at least as a heel. Whereas a babyface, it was kind of like a blank slate. I think she's done a good job. And I thought her and Jericho had some good shtick. The thing where she was teasing the tag. Doing Chris's version of the DMD where he did a 180 and spun around a punch. Jericho was he was swinging the fences with the whole shit here, which I appreciate. And it has to be said, the amount of times that guy's been beat this year is kind of insane, right? I was never someone who made a big show of Jericho won't, get beat by, but he may have honestly overcorrected. I'm not even doing a bit when I was he's getting beat like a drum right now. He got beat twice by Ricky, got beat by Roddy, and got beat twice now by Cole. I don't care necessarily, but it's almost extreme. I think he's doing it as a bit, which is even funnier. So I think he saw some tweets about it. I was like, well, fuck this, I'm going to win it again. So
just to prove a point.
It was a good time. I thought Cole looked good here. I thought everyone did their thing. Right? Again, it's not, it is what it is, right? Who's involved. It's not going to be a classic match, but I honestly thought it was very enjoyable.
Good stuff, man. Did this make up for the pay-per-view match for you? What did you think?
Oh, definitely. Bro, that pay-per-view match was disgraceful. I love Adam Cole, I love Chris Jericho. Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that and shit, but oh my fucking god, that was bad. But this match, I like how they brought it. They actually had some real intensity. They actually looked like they hated each other. They actually looked like they was trying to hurt each other and shit. Instead of just that plunder match was nonsense, bro. Get Fire Extinguishers out of fucking wrestling too, by the way. I'm tired of that shit. I'm done. I'm getting British on Fire Extinguishers. But Britt and Saraya, I thought they went out there and they did what they had to do. I get on Twitter and I see people clipping their sequences and memeing, talking about it's the worst shit ever. Twitter's gonna be Twitter, but I think I like the match.
It's good stuff, man. Manny, you seemed pretty fired up by this. Cole and Jericho, they were whacking each other at the start.
Yeah,
man.
bro. That opening felt like a blood feud. They just went in there and started beating the shit out of each other, and both guys' chests were red, even though Adam Cole couldn't really handle the chops. But it was awesome. Did you see his thigh after the match because of how he was slapping the super kicks?
Yes,
bro.
Yeah,
it was insane. On Worldwide, I said Adam Cole should switch from punches to hammer fist. He watches Worldwide because he did it last night, so I'm taking credit for that. Yeah, bro. I hope Adam Cole has his physicality now from his matches, because if he wants to be a top guy in this promotion, man, he has to bring it. If not, you're gonna get left behind, and you can't do that because you can't have Roddy outclassing you, and then when Kyle O'Reilly comes back, it's gonna be worse for him. So, Adam Cole, I want you to watch the game tape, watch as many times as you can, maybe pick up some Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu, and then go out there and just do your thing. That's all I was gonna say.
Good shit, man. Good shit. Good shit. Adam Cole watched the game tape. That's the big takeaway from the main event. Good stuff though, man. Really good Dynamite. Really, really good Dynamite. I think that was quite unanimously thought amongst people who was sort of talking about it anyway. I haven't actually seen one bad review of the show yet, which is it's always good when the weekly TV shows are hitting. This was definitely a win for AEW coming out of a pay-per-view that was definitely divisive. So yeah, it seems like they're on the right track with stuff. There's some interesting angles that we can look forward to, and just a success all round, man. Anyone got anything to add on the show overall?
I think it was a much needed triumphant feel to this show. We go segment by segment, but with these shows generally there is this kind of overarching like vibe and feel. This had a feel that was totally absent from the pay-per-view, to be honest, and that was timely. And a lot of that is the crowd, to credit to, and they brought it the whole night. But it felt like they could do with like a fresh feel coming out of the pay-per-view, and I thought they managed that. So I was a massive fan. I really, really loved the show.
I want to give a shout out to our boy Confirmed Shoot. He tweeted out yesterday that you couldn't tell like this was the same company from Sunday, and he's 100% right because it didn't even feel like the same promotion. Yeah,
there was again. It's amazing the atmosphere difference, right? Like they had a hot crowd, and the opening match was hot and all action, and all of a sudden it was like, "Fuck, man!" They feel like they're rolling again. It was very apparent. Absolutely.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. We got a few super chats, and I think we can get out of here. All right, Willie $2, Free my guy Jamo, Yota Tsuji winning the big one.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I think he does.
Yeah, man.
I think there's a real possibility. Yeah.
Pop. Respect.
I'm with it. I think it'd be really
Listen,
good.
man, ghetto's ghetto, bro. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He's been pulling some punches. Like he's been swinging for the fences with some of the choices he's made. Booking.
Absolutely.
I think it was probably about time, right? Like to try and
100%.
He took some big gambles back in the day, and kind of they got him for a long time. He's
done.
Yota
Tsuji re-debuted, and just done nothing since. No preview tags, no young line squashes, nothing, bro.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, bro, we gonna see you at Dominion. So hopefully they try to make a start of him that night.
I've seen him wrestle live. It's incredible. He's really good.
Absolutely.
I know he's good, but Manji came out and just stunk the place up. It'd be kind of funny.
Oh my god!
Addy, why?
Can't be any worse than Sonata.
That is absolutely what Manny is rooting for. Like you can tell by the way he said it. Like
chaos. Like
oh man. Big Ben's 97, 199. When do you think we get women's tag titles in AEW? Never.
Hopefully never.
I don't think that'll be something Tony, unless they completely change their creative structure in sense of like this person does the women's division and Tony, and you know what I mean, and it's someone that's like really like puts a lot of time and focus and just effort into it and stuff like that, and to build a division and it's a long time away.
It's nothing against women. It's just like there's no promotion in North America that can handle having a women's tag division. Like even if you look at the AEW tag division right now, we're trying to think of who could have FTR feuded with instead of having those shitters as the Gun Club out there, and we were scratching our heads. We couldn't think of it. And the women's roster is a fraction the size of the men's roster, and then it's just creative. And does the booker actually care to do this instead of just doing it for brownie points and shit? It's just it's not a good idea, bro.
I hear you, man. Showtime Spurs $5. Jericho is like 50 times better when he has a chip on his shoulder. Hasn't wrestled that fast since NBA. Twitter called him fat.
True. Jericho is definitely one of those guys who is inspired by like a big time critique and miss. Like he Most of the great pro wrestlers are that way, and for all of his critics that are fair and unfair, Jericho is objectively one of the great pro wrestlers. So when you doubt him, he's most likely to do some crazy shit and pull it off. This was not crazy shit, to be clear, but it was clearly an inspired performance. I would agree.
The way you know that Jericho like agreed with the criticism is he didn't find any like random shitter with 50 followers on Twitter to dunk on and tell him to suck his ass or whatever Jericho usually says and shit. Like, he just put his head down and he went to work.
I like when he does the opposite, where like he'll have 50 tweets about how the match sucked, and he'll find the one go live and be like, "Me too, bro." I remember vividly the night when he wrestled King. Is it when he wrestled Eddie? That was after a long run where people were like, maybe Jericho's done, because that was before he had the big 2022 revival, right?
Yeah.
And like they had that fucking All Japan match, and I swear Jericho retweeted every compliment of that match. And I was like, you know what, man? Good for him. Like, dude took a head drop bump in the first minute of the match. Have his retweets.
That's real grabs.
Yeah, he can have them. Big Battle 499. Long live CM Punk, the Prophet, the Messiah is returning to save the promotion. AO and the other elite riders can cry, weep, seethe. Very spiteful.
Man, I said it yesterday.
We'll see where we are.
Punk haters always win in the end. Let's talk 365 days from now. Let's talk.
Ben Dixon, $5. Fightful Select mentioning Noah having interest in Jacob Fatu. I assume legally that can't happen, but Fatu in Japan would be the realest of grabs.
3 words. Wrestling done. Right.
He needs to be doing something, anything other than MLW, bro. He's so good.
He's incredible.
He's awesome.
I would legitimately, if he did the tournament, I would legitimately watch it, like just to see how he does in that setting. Because some of the shows MLW is like insane considering what that promotion is. You know?
I watch the highlight matches anyway. Like you'll always hear like, Nakajima had a 4.5-star match with so and so, or whoever. There's a lot of really good talent in Noah, So
for sure. It's
just the booking can be a bit. Yeah. That's always going to be something that drags them down these days. But when they do these tournaments, you're gonna get some good matches, man. And if they can get Jacob Fatu in there, then that would be definitely something I'd probably watch pretty closer. To be honest, love the guy. He's great. Have we got any other topics that anyone wants to bring up, or any shit you want to get off your chest? We're all family here.
Does that include plugs, Monty?
Not just yet. Just
okay.
Now you've interested me. Well, if we've got no subjects or any discourse you want to get off your chest, or anything, then I'm ready to get out of here. We good? Yeah,
I believe so.
We can preview
Happy
the
days.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, we'll do that in the DMs.
Yeah, we can't talk about anything.
Joe.
Yes.
You mentioned doing a plug. Go ahead.
About half an hour ago, there was news that Dax Harwood is wrestling Daniel Garcia this weekend in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I would like to announce formally now that I'll be creating a petition in the coming hour. I'm demanding a one-match Coliseum video release of this bout with both pre- and post-match interviews. Potentially a documentary. I'm willing to work on that if it's necessary. I'll be tweeting this link as soon as the petition is ready. Please join me in our pursuit of what is a holy grail match in the land of Joe Holbert Promotions. Even if you are not a fan of Dax Harwood, you could utilize this for many agendas. I'm sure our friend AO will very swiftly if I indeed get the footage of this bout. What I mean by that is everyone wins here, folks. Agenda potential, real graps potential. For the prestigious Joe Holbert Invitational title that Roderick Strong currently owns, we're going to ignore that for now. And just at Joe Holbert on Twitter, please sign up and support what is a very worthwhile cause in my view. So there you go, folks.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Has anyone got anything else you want to plug? AO on Purist tomorrow.
On Purist tomorrow, 6 p.m. Might move to 6:30 p.m. I don't know yet. But 6 or 6:30 p.m. on Purist. Me, Marcus, Chris O'Brien. Rob is still on vacation. He extended his vacation another week. You know what? Rob, you're fucking fired. Anyway, man, he's joining on Purist tomorrow. Gonna be a lot of CM Punk slandering, a lot of making fun of ticket sales, a lot of a whole lot of real nigga shit. You feel me? That's Joe Holbert would like to say. Join the Discord. Link is in the bio. You know, yeah, good time there.
Wait, what? I have to go to an animal shelter tomorrow.
All right, Manny's off the fucking show. A lot of real nigga shit with Chuck tomorrow, as she would like to say.
I'm gonna be in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, you are going to Istanbul. All right, you know what? I try to get y'all booked another night. Try to get y'all a little fatter paycheck. Fuck you.
Man,
Meet Chris and Marcus tomorrow. I'm Purist.
I'll make a run in from the hotel room.
All right, sounds
I
good.
don't know how good the Wi-Fi will be, but
Hey, you're working a hell of a schedule as of late, bro. You coming for the battle?
This is just a pop in. This don't matter. I just had to come in here and announce the tickets wasn't ticketing. We was having a good time, so I stayed. You feel me?
I appreciate it. I do have to remind you, as you did to me on Saturday, you know, if you're not on the tweet, I would like to know.
I'm not here to take anybody's checks. I'm not here to take anybody's checks.
You told me that I did check my contract, and I must say you beat me on that one, Chief. Small print, brother. Small print.
Right. Good stuff. It's been a good podcast. You know, we appreciate everyone who's stuck with us throughout the duration, especially the people who stuck here from start to finish. Please like the video if you haven't already. I know I've been asking a few times tonight, but it means something. That's why I'm on to it, you know. We appreciate all the super chats as always. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Joe looks very shocked. What happened?
I left.
It's what he does, bro. It's what he does. He gets out of here.
Usually waits till we're off the air, though, right?
Bro, sometimes I'll hit the outro and he'll be gone by the time the outro finishes.
Yeah.
You know? But this time, he was out of here, bro.
There's a video that everybody has to go watch. I retweeted it. It's a video of Charles Barkley and Steve Smith. They're trying to do like commentary, and they have the air masks to breathe because they're above elevation in Denver. Freaking funny.
God bless. God bless. God bless. Yeah, man. As always, thanks for watching, everyone, and we will be back tomorrow with Purists. Peace.